welcome to Reginaldesq. I'm Underhook and this is my review of the Tier 3 Polish light tank, the 10TP. Now once upon a time in America, 10TP would have been a village. Oh, that's a terrible joke, sorry about that. The tank, is it any good? I think it's a pretty good tank. The gun does good damage, has reasonable pen, and provided you can stay away from a brawl, don't get into a brawl because it has no armour and its rate of fire is a bit slower than a lot of the other Tier 3s, and those little Tier 3s with multi-cannons or Tier 4s will rip you apart. So try and keep some cover between you and the enemy, just pop out and shoot and the good damage will work well for you. Has good gun depression, about 12 degrees, so that's good, and it's pretty quick as well, so you can flank other tanks. And yeah, it does pretty well. Like using the gun depression, you can see the gun is near the top of the turret, so by using the gun depression you're not exposing too much of your tank, so that is a good thing. Now in the replays you're going to see, as you can see, I have binoculars fitted so I can see further, camouflage net so it's harder for others to see me, and I have a toolkit fitted which speeds up repairs. You could put a better module than that on it, but I just, because it's Tier 3, I don't want to spend money on it, that's why I just chucked the repair kit on it. Now my crew is fully trained. I normally don't fully train a Tier 3 crew, but in this case I accidentally put a female crew member on it who has like bonus skills and stuff, and I wanted to wait until she was fully trained before I sold the tank. So anyway, they're all trained. She has situational awareness, so my vision will be a little bit better than standard, and 3 of them are on about 50% camouflage. The commander doesn't have anything because he's working on 6th sense. So that's about all there is to say about the tank at this stage. We're not going to look at the armour because it is terrible. It's very patchy. The hull armour is strongest parts is 20, the weakest parts about 16, and the turret's sort of 16, 18 as well. So everything will penetrate you. Let's go now and have a look at the comparison and get into some gameplay. We are on the Tanks GG website and I have a selection of non-premium tanks. Tried to get one from most nations. So we can see that our DPM is a little low. So even though our gun does more damage than any of these other guns of the tanks we can see here per shot, its actual damage per minute is pretty low because the rate of fire is a little low. So really do not get into a brawl with other tanks. Like if you're out in the open, like circling them and next to them, it just doesn't work because they'll kill you before you can kill them because you just don't reload fast enough. So it's better to be able to back behind cover. Then if they come at you, you can usually kill them first because you're able to hide after each shot, and even if you're exchanging shots 1 for 1, you do more damage, so you'll win. Okay, so penetration of 56 is about average. There are some that are really good. In this example, the Swedish STRV has 78mm of penetration, which is fantastic, although it only does 40 damage per shot. Some of the others, as you can see, generally the more penetration you have, the less damage you do. It sort of works that way. Now the rate of fire is 13 rounds a minute, or it takes about 4.5 seconds to reload. Now you can see some of these other tanks reload in 2.3 seconds, which is why they rip you to pieces if you're out in the open with them. Now the caliber of the gun is 47mm, shell velocity 782. It's not super fast, but it's okay for a Tier 3 tank, so no problems there. It says max range of 720. I would say it's probably got about 1mm of penetration left at that distance. It really loses penetration fast, so that's pretty much a fictitious thing there. And beyond 400 meters, it really struggles to penetrate anything. What else have we got here? Sorry, my browser is working really slowly. I think it's got some sort of a malware or something in it, which I've got to get rid of. Aim time of 2.3 seconds is a little slow for a light tank. Now the AMX is even slower at 2.5, but it's got a lot of armor, which is why it's so slow. Whereas these other tanks, you can see 1.9, 1.7, 1.5 on the key knee, they're really fast. So popping out from cover and shooting, this thing's not great at it because it's a little slow to aim. But if it hits, it does do the damage. Now the dispersion of 0.4 isn't very good, but it's about average for a Tier 3 tank. The dispersion on firing isn't very good in this tank. It does lose a bit when it fires its gun, but it takes so long to load, it's got plenty of time to re-aim. Elevation of 20 is about average and pretty good. Gun depression of 12 is really, really good. And like I said before when we were looking at the tank, because the gun is close to the top of the turret, you don't have to expose much. If you just pop your gun over a building or something, over some rubble, and they can only just see the top of your turret. They don't have a big target, so it works out quite well in that respect. 50 kilometers per hour in forward is pretty generous. It does that downhill. That said, it's not a slow tank. It does go pretty good, but it's not like a real fast tank. Not like the M3 Stuart here, 61. That thing can motor. Reverse speed of 20 though is quite healthy. It does help you pull back out of trouble. The weight of 12.5 ton is not bad. You can sort of get away with ramming and stuff most of the time. Terrain resistances though aren't very good. Turret traverse of 36 is kind of okay. The track traverse of 45 though is pretty good and is up there with some of the better ones. Hull armour, as we said, it's awful. It says 20 here at the front, but really it's patchy. That's the strongest armour, is 20. It has a lot of 16 patches as well, so you're going to get penetrated. Not like the AMX-38, which has really good frontal armour at 60. So, and you will have trouble penetrating the AMX-38 at some times with this gun. Hit points, 230 is on the low side. Only the AMX-38 is low with its 220, but it has armour, we don't. So you've got to be careful. You can get one shot by some tier 4 artillery in this tank. View range of 310 metres isn't good either. It's on the low side. Some of the better ones here have 330. Radio range of 350 isn't great either, but it's good enough, I guess. Chance of fire, it says 20%, but for some reason, must be the engine or something in the front, and it catches fire quite easily. Let's have a look at the gameplay. So we're on mines. We see a Trio down there, and we decide to have a shot, and then, a couple of tanks are spotted. Smorgasbord. Fortunately, I missed the Stuart, but the 10 TP is staying still, and we're not giving you much target to shoot at, so nice. Let's get another one in. This was just to show you that I wasn't lying when I said tier 4 artillery can one-shot you. So, yeah, be careful. Doesn't have armour. The map is Prokhorovka. It's a tier 4 game, which is bad for us because we're in a tier 3 tank. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tier 4s on the enemy team, and whoops, it's showing people's names, not tank names. There we go. Now, there are 7 bots. So 1, 2, 3, 4... No, there's 6 bots on each team. And unfortunately, none of them are tier 4s. So it just sort of increases our competition a little bit, being in a tier 3. But anyway, we'll motor on out. I'm going over to the hill here. I did try spotting from the other side of the map, but what I found was that really fast tanks like Panzer 1Cs and stuff like that just came ripping through the lines and just tore me to bits because I just didn't have anywhere to hide. So I figure if I come up here, at least I can use the depression of the hill, and if someone comes driving at me, I can get a couple of shots into them before they get to me. So I decided to go up this side of the map. As you can see, pretty slow up hills for a light tank, even though it's a reasonably quick tank. It's not good up hills. It's fast downhill and okay on the flat. So our Lux has already moved into an advanced spotting position ahead of me there and has spotted the LIGO. I decide, okay, then I'll move forward. I was hesitant moving forward before this, but I'm going to go over to this side so that I can get shots on that Panzer B2 and stuff like that over there without exposing myself, hopefully, to too many other tanks. Looks like he's behind the building. He's probably going down into the river that goes through there. River or perhaps a creek. It's not a big one. So I'm just waiting for this guy to come up the hill. Here he comes now. Oh, but now the hill blocks me, so I can't get a clean shot at him. Here, I got a shot at him now. We hit him. I think we tracked him. If that headset points at me, I'm out of here. I think he might be pointing at me. I just fired a shot at the Panzer B2 there on the way out, but it was too risky to stay there because that headset could, if he's firing HE, one-shot me. I think it can anyway. I know the headset's pretty good. Unfortunately, I think we hit the back track of that T80 there doing nothing. We bounced again, and as you can see, so we are at, what range are we at, folks? 522 metres, and we're just bouncing off that T80. I don't think the T80 has great armour, but we haven't done any damage to it. We've got an orange indicator, and actually get one through there, and I think our slow shell velocity helped us because we're actually landing down on the top deck through its thinnest armour. I think that's why we're getting through it there. Now we've got a Panzer Type 91 here. They are a very, very soft tank. So even though the range is 280 metres, it's just so soft we're going through okay. And we've been spotted and we've been hit by the Panzer V2, we've been hit by the Lager, and the Type 91, which is probably a bot, actually shoots and hits us as well. I'm lining up on this Lager now in case he just comes charging over the hill. We fire a shot and we actually get the killing shot in that Lager. I was very thankful for that because I thought if he shot me first I was dead. As you can see, I've almost got no health left, so that was a bit of a lucky shot. This thing doesn't do well when it's not fully aimed, and it does have a pretty long aim time, so I fired there. He wasn't really visible. Maybe I'll get the back of him. No, we bounced and sort of turned. I think we might be able to penetrate the back of him, but we're not getting the back, unfortunately, so there's not much we can do. That T-80 is on the other side of the hill. Other side of the railway tracks. So I've got to be a little bit more cautious now because one hit will take us out. Now I've only got 28 hit points left. Or was it 29? Something like that. Just hoping this Panzer B2 will come out from behind the buildings, but he's not. Maybe this ST-39 is going to. Oh, he's inside tracks, but he's coming up. Don't quite have the accuracy to nail him there, but I'm aiming this one in. Okay, I don't know what happened to that. I think it went over the top of his tank. That one goes in. Hallelujah. And we get the killing shot. Very nice. This T8... Oh, we're getting a green indicator, but just can't... That's hard to penetrate that T8. Once again, unfortunately, this is just a thing of being a Tier 3 shooting at Tier 4 tanks. It's just really hard to get penetrations. I'm still shooting at him, even though I've got a red indicator, because I might be able to track him and at least get some assistance damage if we manage to track him. So they only have human players left now. There are 3 tanks that are remaining. Now they had artillery in the form of Wesp. We didn't have any artillery, which is kind of unusual for one team to have arty and the other team not to have any. But due to the low server population, and that's why the bots are there, because of the low server population. And so I guess if there's only one arty that wants to play, you've got to give them the game, don't you? So it's not that big a deal at this tier because they pretty much have to hit you. You know, most of the arties have to hit you directly, and it's pretty hard to do that. I'm worried that this Hetzer is just sitting out there somewhere, and there he is. That's why I didn't just drive out there, because he could kill me easily. Pretty good gun on the Hetzer. I'm going for the green area, but he was too angled, and now I'm worried he's actually going to shoot me, and now he won't be able to see me in a second. But I'm just getting red indicators everywhere. When I try and go lower to get his lower plate, it doesn't show up. I think the creek bed, he was a bit down in the creek bed and I couldn't hit his lower plate. So we actually don't do any damage to him. Oh well. That was a class 1 in the tank, and we got, I think it's an All-X medal for killing 2 tanks that are a tier above us. I think that would have been the Largo, definitely, and the ST-39 or whatever it is, or 38. That would have been those 2, I think. Next screen, we finished second on our team for experience and 698 damage. We did the top damage in the game. Yep, the next best was the Sentinel here with 527, I think. So that's good. And we fired 31 rounds, 21 of them hit and 11 of them penetrated. So 2/3 of our rounds hit and then 1/3 of them penetrated. So, oh well, there you go. 698 damage, 307 of that was over 300 metres. Normally over 300 metres this thing doesn't pen very well. As you saw, it does struggle a bit, but when you've got things like Matildas and Panzer IVs and that Panzer B2 thing, it just becomes very difficult to pen them at range. What can we say here? We damaged 6, destroyed 3 and got a tiny bit of assistance damage. I think probably other tanks were spotting for us there a bit. Profit wise, if we take the 6-7 for the holiday ops bonus off, it doesn't make a lot of coin. Join me, viewers, as we go for a lovely stroll through everyone's favourite town, Himmelsdorf. Guess what? We're top tier. Tier 3s and Tier 2s, so that doesn't happen that often. So pretty good for us. And all of the bots are Tier 2s. There's, I think there's 6 or 7 per side, I'm pretty sure on this one. And yeah, they're Tier 2s, so they should be pretty easy to kill. We've got an AMX-38 there in the open, but he's got good armour. Now you can see what I'm saying about the AMX-38's armour. It's only a tier 3, but we were getting red and orange indicators all over the place there. It wasn't much to shoot at. I was going to go straight up the little ramp there, but this guy looks like he's going to drive out in front of me, and he does. He must be a bot. It's pretty dumb what he's doing right now. Oh, he bounced. Unfortunately, whilst the penetration is okay, it's not good. Like you see here, look at that. We've got red indicators on there. I take a shot, but really... And I shouldn't have taken the shot, because now I'm not loaded to take a shot at that guy. There's a Hotchkiss 35, which I think is a tier 2, but actually has pretty good armour as well. Much better than us. Okay, time to go up the little hill, although that cruiser looks a bit close. Let's see if we can actually get a shot on this. I'm going to use the pillar sort of to protect half of my tank and just show a little bit of my turret here. He fires and misses. Like I said, you don't have to show much. We've got an orange indicator, but it doesn't go through. So, in case you're new to the game, which you might be, if you're new to the game, the orange indicator means that you could pen if you get sort of above average penetration. Green means, but if you don't get above average penetration, you won't pen. Whereas green means you will pen definitely if you hit the spot that you're aiming at. Unfortunately, we don't get to shoot that guy. And red means that even if you get above average pen, you're not going to go through that armour, so don't bother shooting. I decide to move up, a bit of a bold move. I've got to be careful going through there, that don't shoot me from the side. And here, I'm getting him right up against the wall. I'm not giving this guy too much. Get that shot into FCM 36. Yeah, that was a bot. At first I thought it must have been a human because he was staying close to the wall and looked pretty clever what he was doing going behind that pillar there. But the way he kept backing out was pretty silly, so yeah. Now we've got a light 35 here. Probably a bot as well, and we get one in the back. You're still got to be careful with the bots because when they do aim at you, they tend not to miss. He's trying to get away, so that's okay. The other one's coming out, is it? He wasn't even pointing at us, I don't think. Oh, he is now, okay. So this tank, as you can see, isn't great at the snapshot. I'm having to aim for a fair while before I sort of shoot. Even some tanks you can just pop around the corner and go bang. This one you have to really aim a little bit. I've got a couple of tanks here shooting with me, so I decided to just come out and get a good shot on this guy. I'm not going to die from one hit anyway because I've got full health, so it's worth taking the risk. We've got an AMX-38 up the top here. Now this is a tier 3, but it's a player in this tank here, but he is blissfully unaware. This is the guy we were trying to trade with. I go for the back wheel deliberately to track him so that hopefully he hasn't got very good gun depression and just won't be able to shoot at me. I don't think he even realises he's being shot from behind, or he just knows he's going to die and he's trying to get a couple of other shots in before he dies. I'm not sure what was going on there, but maybe he's a brand new player and just didn't realise where he was getting hit from. Don't know why I couldn't see him. I expected to see that tank as he went through there. I took a shot anyway, but wasn't really there. Now my team has started capping. I really don't want them to cap because we're winning and there's a lot more, potentially I can do a lot more damage. So there's, I think that's Artie that's running away there. We get one shot into him. Oh, he gets away. Oh, there's two tanks here. Uh-oh, that M2 medium could do a lot of damage to us. I've got to be careful here. I could have taken a shot, the other tank gets some damage and was backing away, but I don't want to risk trading too many shots more than I have to. He gets one into us, but he's firing AP, so we'll probably be okay. We get the killing blow on him there. We got hit by artillery, but I'm changing course now. I'm going to go after this MXA here. We should be able to tear him apart, really. Just waiting till my spot disappears so I can get a clean shot in without him seeing me. He's gone, and my team is capped. No! Oh well. All that damage we missed out on. Well, even though the game was cut short by my teammates, we still managed to get a mastery game out of that, so it's good. Probably shows you there are probably not that many people playing this tank, so maybe it's not the best tier 3, or it would be harder to get mastery, I would think. Anyway, finished on top for our team with 822 experience. We did 856 damage, which is actually pretty good for a tier 3 tank anyway. We fired 23 shots, 16 of them hit. So once again, the accuracy isn't great. I think it's not so much the accuracy isn't great, which is normal for tier 3 anyway, but it's just because the aim time's so long, I think I end up firing sometimes before it's fully aimed, just because I don't have a choice, because I'm going to get shot at myself. And so it tends to get a bit more misses. But of the 16, 14 of them penetrated, because we did have a lot of close range shooting, which was good. 856 damage is a fair bit. We received 3 hits, and one of them bounced, which is nice. We spotted 3 vehicles, we damaged 7, destroying 4, 76 assistance damage, and we made, it was 8 grand from the holiday, so take that out, we made 20,000, which is actually not too bad, so it's not terrible. Thanks for watching my review of the 10TP, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more reviews, please subscribe to Reginaldesq, and have fun.